Hey, I thought I'd just do a little tour of my studio and show you what I get up to and what toys I've got, and you might be interested, or you may find it a bit boring, but I hope you find it a bit interesting. So here we go. Yes, the room itself is just not bigger, much bigger than a container. It's a kind of a portacom, and I've done a lot of stuff to make it so that it sounds a lot better. So you can see on the roof I've got this uh, thing here, which is basically an absorber made out of bats that's going to soak up the sound, and it takes the reflections away because I've got a hard floor, so any reflections are sucked up by that, so the acoustics are much better. Got a similar thing at the front, which kind of goes on a bit of an angle, and then on the side wall, I don't know if you can see that with the glare of the light, there's panels on each side, so that means that the listening area is completely surrounded by absorption, so that I can get a good idea of what it sounds like without the room making it sound too horrible, because it's such a small room. So storage, all of my stuff at the back behind the curtain, and my guitars. Uh, my guitars are usually set up. All of the strings are a bit old at the moment. This one was my main guitar. It's a Hamer. It makes quite a good Les Pauly sound, but the one I'm probably using the most at the moment would be probably this Ibanez, which was given to me when I left Griffins. I finding that quite easy to play. Probably going to throw some 9 to 46 strings on that and give it a try with some slightly lighter top strings for playing lead. But all the guitars have got a slightly different sound. This is probably the latest one that I've got, which is don't do that. Again, is a Hamer Les Pauly one, but it's doesn't have the Floyd Rose. The white one's got a Floyd Rose on it. This one here is just more for straight sounds. Get that back into the rack. And of course I've got a 5-string bass, which I haven't really made friends with yet. Just can't get used to that 5th string, but so if I do play anything, I've really got to practice it to make sure that I don't keep hitting the wrong string. Of course, keyboard set up. That's all set up, just plug straight into my system. But the whole idea of the room is that I can just walk in here, and if I've got an idea, I can just grab an instrument straight away. If I need an acoustic guitar, I've got those in the case there, a couple of acoustics, different ones, but I can just walk in. If I have an idea, I can sit down at my studio. That's my work area there, my desk. See a couple of monitors and speakers. So speakers I use are made by PreSonus. They're called a Scepter. So the white ones to the side are a speaker made by a company called Aventone, which is supposed to make a pretty horrible sound, which is copies what they traditionally did in the studios in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Is they'd get a speaker called a Auratone, which sounded pretty crap, and you check your mixers on those. But I usually just use those when I'm doing a final mix. So the Scepter sound really good, and they're positioned perfectly so that the absorption works with them, and they just make a really great sound. So that's basically the workstation. So I'll work there. You can see I've got a project open at the moment, which is Studio One over there, and this is a score that I'm working on for this particular song. I've written an orchestra part for it, so that's coming along quite well. So it actually has a full orchestra, so I'll get to that. But usually I don't usually have the score up. Usually I use 2 screens, so that with Studio One, that's basically I can see all my tracks and do my editing over there, and then I have the console up over here so that I can mix on a separate screen. So over to the right, there's my rack of bits and pieces, toys. And so again, the idea being so that I can, if I want to play electric guitar, I just switch that on, plug an electric guitar in. There's usually a lead there ready to go, and I can just select a sound and start playing. And then again, with the whole concept being that I can just walk into the studio and decide to do something and have everything set up. I've got these preamps, external preamps, which are really good. They've got a transformer coupled input. They have each one has its own compressor. They have its own equalizer, and so you can set that up. It's just like the channel of a big desk. So I have them permanently set up. I have one for my main vocal mic, one that's permanently set up with a dynamic vocal mic plugged in. This is where I plug the bass. So when I want to play bass, I just plug in to the front of that, plug the bass in, and that's permanently set up so that any compression and EQ that I've decided that I like is always there. Patch bay at the top, which I haven't completely finished hooking that up just yet. So really, in a normal recording environment, you only need one of these, but because I went a bit crazy and I bought a whole lot, it means that I can permanently have the settings ready for whatever it is that I want to use them for. In the bottom, I've got my power conditioner and my studio controller and various things, and then drawers full of crap. You've always got to have drawers full of crap because you never know when you're going to need a battery or that's what I did with that, or something. And of course, tons of books in my live rack, and the room certainly fills up. And behind the curtains are about another metre of storage space, but I have the curtain up because it just helps a little bit with the acoustics. I can reach around, grab an instrument. Books I use all the time. So it makes it a really useful room. I can just walk into, everything's set up, and I can start recording pretty much straight away. Computers are set up on a network, so down there I've got 2 computers. I have one that's purely for the recording studio, one that is purely for office, so I can switch between those, and they share the same set of screens. That's about it, really. Got power back up there, so if the power goes off and I'm halfway through recording something, I can just quietly finish it and then shut everything down without losing anything. So that's my studio. Fan set up for summer, lighting. Oh, there's my microphone. Right, okay, so if I want to sing something, I've permanently got a microphone set up here, so I can just pull it down, put it into position in front of me. That's always ready to go. Unclip that. So that's always set up to go there. That goes through this preamp here, so that's always set up, phantom power and the EQ that I've decided that, well, for the moment, that works on my voice. Just pop the pop screen in front of it and it's ready to sing. So as I said, the whole idea of the whole setup is that I can walk in, have an idea, and I don't have to think about anything. If I need to do vocals, I've got the microphone, got a set of headphones ready to go so I can monitor for a recording, and it works for me. So I'll give you a little bit of an idea of my setup, and hopefully enjoy having a look. Okay, I'll see you later.